Right, this is just a little side issue where I've added some gauzes to the top of my trumpets. I'm not after out and out air filtration, I just want to stop medium-sized rocks from going in. It'll be a fairly limited mileage, so a bit of dust I'm not too fussed about. I've had to do some cuts because the trumpets would have touched each other there, and I've had to cut the trumpet at the back there because the piece of cardboard simulates where the rear window will go. So what I'll now do is I'll go through with you how I made these up. Very straightforward and looking quite professional in my opinion. So here we go. Right, here goes. So I started off by cutting a circle of some stainless steel mesh, which is flat, and then we've got to make a dome in it. So literally lay it in and keep pushing down. So we end up with a dome. That's then laid, here's one I made earlier, that's then laid over the trumpet, and then I've done, before I lay it on there, do some cuts with the grinder all the way round, so you've got tabs. So that then allows you to place it on to the trumpet and bend the tabs over. So that then locks it in position. And then we have to make a rubber surround to go round there. And to do that, from Car Builders Solutions, I've got some panel edging, as you can see here. There we go. And cut it to a length that's a tight fit all the way round, as you can see, about that size. And then super glue the ends together, literally like that. And then you end up with a ring. And it's then just a case of putting that all the way round, which I'll now do. Not the easiest thing to do, especially as the bits of wire keep digging into your fingers. Right, this one's got a flat area on it because the trumpets are very close to each other, and by the time you put the gauze on and the rubber, they would have touched each other. Now if the dome has collapsed slightly, literally just give it a little push from the inside. And get it to come back up again. But we have obviously a horrible mess now underneath. So to overcome that, first thing to do is to wrap some tape round, which I'll just do, which acts as a straight line when we come to put some silicone on there. Make sure it's all pushed down all the way around. And then take some silicone. Alright, there we are. And then quite literally push it down into the rubber. and then smooth it off. Right. And then peel off the tape. And there we have a nice sealed top. Obviously it does mean it's a bit difficult if you're using a synchrometer, because you can't actually push your synchrometer in to balance it all now. So my next task then is to make a 3D print of a conical that'll sit on there with a rubber surround, that'll seal on the rubber, and then the synchrometer will plug into the top of that. But that's how it's done. I'll show you one that's dried off now. Here's one I've done earlier. As you can see, it's firm. Silicone stuck quite nicely to the rubber. No sharp edges underneath. I think that looks quite acceptable.